Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you here today. We are cruising on home. There's not really a whole bunch of wrestling news that is out there since WrestleMania 36. I guess the word is out there that they're going to find a way to do a SmackDown on Friday and a Raw on Monday. So it looks like, as of right now, wrestling is going to continue here in the United States. They're just going to find a way to keep pumping out episodes, probably doing some best ofs, not having to bring in like everybody off the roads and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, I mean, they're going to need to find a way to spice up pay-per-views along the way. And one of the things I'm really hoping for is that WWE, they saw the success of the Boneyard match, and I'm hoping that we're going to see more of like these kind of wrestling movies, much like Lucha Underground or something like with the Hardys did in TNA and things like that. I'm thinking that maybe we could finally see Undertaker versus Sting. I mean, Sting did have the neck problem after the problem in the match with Seth Rollins, and that led to him saying that he retired when he went into the Hall of Fame. I believe that was WrestleMania 32 weekend. But I mean, you waved that big payday in front of him and pretty much let him know that they're going to take care of him. You do a spot called Cut. It took him 8 hours to film that one match for WrestleMania with the AJ Styles versus the Undertaker. Maybe you just sort of continue on with these continuations of the Boneyard matches. We could probably get Sting versus Undertaker. We could get Sting versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. You could do Bray Wyatt versus the Undertaker again. It would be cool to sort of see them like use legends, but bringing a guy in like Hulk Hogan to have a match against the Undertaker in a Boneyard match, I don't really see the appeal. So you have to have sort of like characters with that supernatural kind of feeling. You could do Undertaker versus Finn Balor. There's a lot of matches that are out there, but for a wrestling fan like me that has been around the block and been waiting for an Undertaker versus Sting match, easily since the early 90s. Well, I guess when you're sort of drawing up your dream cards, it wouldn't have been until about 96 when Sting turned into the Crow. And that's when he, sort of had that appeal of wanting to see a match against Undertaker. That's sort of like when you were drawing up your best of cards, when you sort of put those guys together, kind of like how you'd put Austin versus Goldberg and matches like that. Two guys that had sort of the same look, same appeal, maybe even kind of the same gimmick. Sting vs. Taker is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time. We thought we were going to get it at 27. We sort of thought we were going to get it at 28. It was, kind of on the table for 30 because TNA would always sign Sting to these one-year contracts, and they would always end somewhere around January. And we always thought that Sting was going to show up at the Royal Rumble. Sting was just going to sort of like be a mystery opponent for him at WrestleMania. Remember the whole thing with the cabin? That set up, I think that's what set up the WrestleMania 27 feud, because you saw Undertaker in the cabin, and you really sort of thought that, somebody was on the outside looking in, and that was going to be Sting. And then it ended up just being Undertaker walking out of the cabin, walking down to the ring, and then Triple H came out, and they had a confrontation where they just stared at each other and then looked at the sign, which honestly at that time was just really, really freaking cool. But it didn't really pan off to it. So we'll see what happens with this. But Sting versus Undertaker, that's a match that I'm just not ready to let go of, even though Sting's retired. I think with the current state of wrestling and them having, the need to find cool stuff to do, I think it could be on the table again, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.